My name is Veronica Munoz, and I work at Edward Kemble as a third grade teacher. I worked for about 24 years with bilingual ed. This year was the most challenging year of my life because I was switched into a regular classroom. I had students that were actually just they were not able to get along with each other. There were a lot of fights, a lot of, they would, just throw words at each other. So it was just a very hostile environment. Sometimes when I wanted to teach, there was one that would be popping up and throwing things. It just made the environment so difficult. I basically referred a lot of these students to counseling, but counseling was only available for once a week. And so it was not very helpful. I mean, that type of environment just continued on. Even when I had behavioral specialists come into the classroom and to observe the students, they were hit by surprise. They couldn't believe how the environment was just so chaotic. And they noticed the frustration, how frustrated I was because I wanted to teach. I wanted to do my job, but I just couldn't do it. It was very, very, very difficult. To tell you the truth, I felt for the first time, this is the time for me to retire. I think I'm ready to go. I felt helpless. I felt like I just couldn't do it because I've never been through it before. One of the counselors from her school, she made a comment to me about considering NorCal theater arts coming into the classroom. I had no idea what it looked like, what was going to happen, but I said, oh yeah, whatever help I can get to come into my classroom, yes, I'm open. And then I ended up having theater arts come into my room every Tuesday. I've noticed that they started, getting that group together, teaching students different strategies, games, and the students loved it. They were looking forward, like every week was like, okay, it's Tuesday, today's theater arts, today, and I would always, yes, it is. But the moment that they came into the classroom, even before, it was the time they were excited and just looking for that time. With Kat, she's just so loving and so comforting and so just positive that she gained the student's confidence so quickly that my student was able to just connect with her immediately. So I could just sit back and just watch, and she would take on and take over. I was happy with every lesson that she brought in, so because I was learning from those lessons and I incorporated some of those, so I was just very happy with her. I would say by late November, December, that's when the students the environment began to shift. You would walk in the classroom and students were following directions, they were learning, they were happy. It was just mind-blowing just to see that. Even one of the behavioralists came in to observe one of the students that had the biggest problems. Oh my goodness, she was amazed. My students just shifted. I mean, they made a 180 turn. There were a lot of lessons that she brought in where she would display some of those pictures out there, so there were visuals the kids can actually see and connect with. And my other favorite one was where she gave roles to students and they all took a character, and so they did like a drama of a story, and the kids just were so engaged in the acting, and so it was just amazing taking a look at them working together, collaborating, and then supporting each other. Like, you need to get your voice like you're mad, and so it was just beautiful to see that go on in the classroom. So I just love the program. I mean, just the whole program. I love the teaching. I love the teachers. I've only had an experience with Kat, but every colleague of mine at school, they love the teachers. So I figure they have the same experience that I've had. So it's just an amazing program. I think that every school should be exposed to this program and be able to have it in their classrooms, because after the pandemic, we know that kids have suffered a lot, especially with their social emotional skills. With the pandemic, it really, really affected students in terms of following directions. They lost, even though they've been in the classroom for the last 2 years, it's been a very small percentage, but they didn't get that rigorous training, from kinder all the way up. And I teach third grade, so they lost a lot of the years. And so when they came to me, lots of them were not able to follow directions. They have a very hard time. So what I liked about theater arts is that they had a lot of activities that taught the students how to follow directions and practice following directions. So that was a big plus. Now the pandemic, not only did it affect them with behavior, with following protocols in the classroom, but social, emotional. That was, I think, the big blow. Students just not being able to handle like little things. Just breaking down in the classroom, crying. And so it's been a very, very, very difficult year. These last couple of years has been very, very hard. And I know that it's been a lot because they haven't been in the classroom. They haven't had that experience being with others, right? Others that are different than us or that act differently. And so just having that, I would say that acceptance of others, especially when they're from different cultures. And this is what is making a lot of teachers quit now. I don't know if you saw on the news. As a matter of fact, yesterday I saw on the news that they're in need of a lot of teachers because a lot of them are quitting. They cannot handle these students that are coming in with so many different, not only do you have to be a teacher, but now you have to put the hat on of a mother, hat on of a counselor. You pretty much have to be everything now. And so if you're not equipped, you don't have that. You have to get help. You have to go and talk to a counselor and learn how do you deal with these students they're so broken and just so fragile. It's tough. It's tough. I never had to deal with this massive, I would say, chaos like I did this year of 2022. For all the years that I worked, it's been, and I've been with the district with Sacramento City for 25 years. And let me tell you, it was a rough year. And I'm very thankful that I was able to make it through because I had the support from theater arts and from the counselor at school. But yep. So again, I'm very thankful. I started extending my social emotional learning. Instead of being 30 minutes in the morning, I started doing an hour a day because I thought that it was more important for my students to learn social skills rather than just the academics.